Breaking news here on Sky News. The Chinese spy balloon, which has been spotted over the United States over the past couple of days, has in the past few minutes been brought down. Supposition is it has been shot down after an order from President Biden himself. You'll recall just after a couple of hours ago that President Biden has said he would take care of this suspected spy balloon, which is reported to have been conducting surveillance on the US military. And it seems that certainly has happened. We know that airspace was closed around 100 square miles off the Carolinas. A number of flights stopped following an order in the past hour or so, and that will prove where the balloon had been heading. It was over North Carolina, Charlotte a couple of hours ago, and it has drifted. So it seems to have been brought down over water. That is the supposition. Mark Stone is our US correspondent who's monitoring events live from the Pentagon. So it is down, Mark.
Very, very significant developments over the past 5-10 minutes or so. I'm looking at images here, which I hope we could bring to you at some point in the next few minutes, which show the sky and the white dot that is the balloon that we have seen over the past couple of days travelling across the continental United States, and a small plume of smoke hits that white spot, and then it appears to deflate and begin to come down. There is also some vapor trails of what look like either a military aircraft or perhaps a missile in the same area as well. What we do know, as you say, is that President Biden in the past hour or so gave the order to take the balloon down. He pretty much said as much when he was asked by reporters a couple of hours ago what he would do about the balloon, and he said, "We will take care of it." Now, that combined with the fact that a NOTAM order was put out, that's a notice to airmen, anyone flying in the area around Myrtle Beach, Wilmington and Charleston in the Carolinas, anyone in the air should get out of that particular bit of airspace. We then saw there was only one plane in that airspace, and it was a US Air Force plane. So all of that together brings us to this news that it does appear to have been shot down, or at least taken out in one way or another. So the effort now will be, as we understand, to recover the wreckage. Of course, we know from what the Pentagon has told us over the past 2 days that they were very wary about shooting it down over land because this is such a large balloon. We understand that the payload itself is the size of 3 buses, so a very, very large thing that they needed to take down. And of course, if it had come down over land, then there would be no guarantee that it wouldn't hit anyone on the land. So a decision has been made when it had moved out off over American land into the sea space that they would take it down, and it appears that's exactly what they have done. So the effort now will be to recover whatever they can from the sea, and of course that will, from an American perspective, be highly valuable. If the Chinese are right that it was simply a weather balloon that went off course, well, we'll soon find out if that was the case or not. So that appears to be what's happened, and I imagine there is a situation room in the Pentagon behind me where all of that was carried out. Over the course of the past few days, the Pentagon has been giving the White House options over what to do. Their advice was don't shoot it down over land, but clearly that advice has now changed. Politically, for President Biden, there was a dynamic too, because the president was under a lot of pressure not to let this one pass, literally. The idea from certainly the right of American politics here that you could just let a Chinese balloon float over America, taking pictures and gathering intelligence of whatever it wanted and not do anything about it, was just something that just couldn't happen. So politically, for the president, there was a dynamic that he needed to consider. And it appears he has made the decision now to shoot it down. Of course, what we don't know is how the Chinese will respond to this. They had the meeting between Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, and the US Secretary of State, that was cancelled by the Americans. The Chinese admitted it was one of their balloons. They said it was a weather balloon. But now that the Americans have actually taken it out, we will await to see what the reaction is from Beijing, where, of course, it's late at night there, but I imagine some reaction will come fast.